is Ron Convers with Team Dynamic Discs, and this is what I have in the bag today for Texas States. My overstable mid to spike hyzers is the XXX in the gold line. It's really dependable. I lean on it a lot for that. Threw it a lot today. It was windy, and this really came in handy. This is my Giant. It's exceptionally fast. It's longer than some of the discs I was throwing before, but it's still got great stability, especially into the wind. It's a great wind penetrator. If you want to throw something into the wind, or if you want to throw a big hyzer, you can throw this out straight and let it break in, and it will just come in hard. My Trident is a overstable, I'd call it an overstable, almost a fairway utility driver. It's just got enough stability that I can put a Nanheiser on it and count on it coming back at about 3 to 350. It's going to come right back and settle, and it's a very handy utility disc. My other overstable is the Boatman, and the Boatman is I hate to compare it to other discs because it doesn't feel the way it flies. This is an overstable, fairly long range disc that when it hooks up at the end, it really hooks up. I'm still learning it, so I haven't got it down 100%, but it's becoming one of my favorites. When I transferred plastic, I had to try and figure out the different stabilities to try and work in, and I've got a few that I still have as backups for other discs. This is the Opto Villain, and it's another, I would consider a longer, more overstable utility disc. It's not quite as long as my Giant, but it's pretty stable. If you give it some angle, it comes out of it really hard. All right, long range. This is the Trespass in Biofusion plastic. I think I like this plastic incarnation the best. It seems to be a very straight, slightly overstable at really good speeds. This is just a 171, and I can throw it a long ways. It really flies nice. It has a great smooth line to it. It'll go out, it'll just barely turn over, and then it will fade back to the left at a good rate. My Opto Villain in the gold line is very straight. I use it for a long straight shot. I think this is going to be a really good one from going for me from left to right on a long distance shot. But I'm still working through this one. This is the Striker in Opto plastic. This is my 300-foot straight line with a tiny bit of headwind shot. I mean, it's not going to be hard to get it there, and it'll just turn over a tiny little bit and then fade back at 300 feet. It's almost perfect for that distance. It'll go further. It's a very straight disc, but at that distance, it's probably got the most control. This is my Fusion Escape, and of all the discs that I've tried initially from Dynamic Discs, this was the easiest to learn and is I'm continuing to get benefits from this because it's so easy to throw straight. I throw it out there with a tiny bit of hyzer, let it flip up, and it just goes and goes. I'm throwing a 172, and I understand that the 174s could be, in some cases, a tiny bit more stable, but I'm throwing the Biofusion version, and I think that it's the most stable blend for me in feel. I love it. It's a great disc for in the woods or throwing down channels. This is what you want if you want to go straight. This is my Opto Saint, and I use the Saint for long anhysers where I'm throwing it up and it's going to fade a long ways to my right, since I'm a right-hand backhand thrower. This will go out and it'll just turn the corner and it'll glide a long ways because some way it has the angle. I'm really not sure how. I don't think I've thrown a comparable disc to this in most of my career. It's a good disc. It's a really good disc for a sort of a touch drive anhyzer. This is the Fugitive in Lucid Plastic, and it is 2 grams shorter max. This is my slight anhyzer to straight approach. I'll throw it with a tiny bit of hyzer and it'll go out and just barely flatten. And that it leads hole 4 down here. You have to throw a hyzer shot around some trees and then have it stop so that you can have a shot at the basket. This is the disc that really worked the best for me on that, because I could throw it out like this, have it right up and come down and still have the next shot. The Fuse. I don't know about the Fuse. The Fuse is, for me, it's a very much a point and shoot, short range, maybe just a touch longer than a putter, short range driver. And this one will hold just about everything that I put on it. It's just touchy enough that I can get it to hold an anhyzer the whole way. Or if I throw it with hyzer, it'll hold the hyzer the whole way. And if I throw it just right, it'll go straight, right down the line. Like I said, very similar to a putter, but just a tiny bit faster. Putters. I throw a lot of putters. I throw all of my putters, not just as putters, but also for short range drives. I've got 2 Judges, which are the classic soft. I putt with them and I drive with them both. They're both 176, and they both are my primary putter. I use both of these interchangeably. I throw a very straight line putt. I don't float it. I keep it going straight, and for me, this was pretty much a godsend. It makes me commit, and having watched the players today, the way to do it is to hit the pole. If you don't hit the pole, it's not going to, with the new basket technology, if you can hit it, there's a good chance of it sticking. And this is giving me the best shot at hitting it every time. These are the 2 approach driving putters I use. And I really, really love my Fusion Judge for throwing straight line drives. They got me on video today. One of the holes where I had to go through a tunnel with an anhyzer about 270, 280, and this was perfect because it went out, caught the air, and just went right up to the bucket. That's what this does. It goes very straight, has a lot of glide, and I can't say enough about it. It's fairly a new arrival to my bag, and I'm starting to lean a lot. This I'm not sure how to pronounce the name. I believe it is a Cenus. And I've got the zero plastic. It's the softer plastic. But I've been using this for a short range hyzer drive or a very, very controlled wind putt. I mean, where you have to throw an anhyzer and know that it's going to hold the anhyzer all the way there and then come out with a hyzer so that it never lifts. This is the one that you throw directly into the headwind with an anhyzer. It stops really good. I love it. I expected it to wear down because of the softness of the plastic and the comfort I can get off of it, but it's not wearing down. It's still very, very stable, and I've been playing, the last 3 tournaments have been here in Texas, and typically very rocky ground where you think it'd get worn down. It's not getting worn down. It's still very overstable, and it's a really, really incredible disc. And that's what I've got in the bag. Minis. I've got a nice bag too. Minis, camera, wallet, etc. More minis, water, cell phone, and all the good stuff.